Ooh, might make your head blow off.
Hey yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, Alpha Male God, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to another episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter Perry.
Say it with me now, Alpha Male God, 51 Spade, aka the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
We have a special guest with us today. This is Dana.
Hey.
We have some interesting topics that we're going to cover today. You know how we do it. We do 2 topics in 1 hour. And since we have Dana with us, we're going to be talking about interracial dating and dating with that paper, dating with money, and how it affects your dynamic with men. So it's specifically women with money who are out there dating. We're going to talk about the dynamic of that. Interracial dating could probably lead us or segue us into that conversation. So we're going to start with interracial dating. Obviously, if the topic is interracial, then obviously you date outside of your race. So I want to know, what is it about, and you've dated both Hispanic and Black.
Oh, yeah.
So we won't limit this to just,
too.
right. But we're just going to talk about ethnic men. What attracts you to ethnicity?
So I think like
Black men, Hispanic men, Latinos.
I think just like for me, just like the LGBT, how do you say it? LGBTQ? Like you just know. So like I grew up like knowing what I was attracted to. Mm-hmm. Like I grew up in South Dakota, so like there was maybe like one Black guy.
I was gonna say, yeah, South Dakota doesn't have a very large Black
I
population.
remember his name and everything, and I was like, I like that guy. But yeah, I think you just know, like you know, everybody has a type, and so that's what's been my type.
That's probably gonna be the most basic question. I just wanted to know what kind of attracted you to that before we go down this rabbit hole. Only because I think there are difficulties, cultural-wise, with raising kids and things and relating to that.
Sure.
That could be quite difficult.
Sure.
So we are gonna. I'm just fair warning. We're gonna go down that road. Before, I mean, you can jump in anytime.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
So
I'll jump in when we're ready.
Do you have biracial children?
Technically, yes.
Okay, but they're not Black kids.
No.
So, your preference right now today, if you could choose, would you choose Latina again? Would you choose Black for sure?
Black for sure.
Just wanted that answer.
Okay.
So, culturally, Black people raise their children very, very different. Very, very different.
Maybe.
So maybe. Not all people are the same. Mm-hmm. But in general, parenting styles, households, things like that are very different.
Maybe.
So you looking into one day hopefully becoming a Black man's wife, what are your concerns or lack of concern about parenting style?
I grew up in a very strict household. So I grew up with ass whoopings and all that stuff. I grew up in a very, very strict Christian home.
Ain't no more ass whoopings now.
There's not, though. I mean, you're right, though. You're right. But at the same time, like, I do too, but it takes me a little minute. Like, it takes me a little longer than I think it did, like, with my parents. Mm-hmm. My parents were more, my mom was more like, when your dad get home? And then it was on my dad to lay it on him, but to lay it on us, I should say.
Let me be specific. I feel like, I know you. I feel like your parenting is lax. You're a good mom. I just feel, I don't feel, basically, your household wasn't mine.
Very.
So that's where my concern is. Like, if a Black man walked into your home, his opinion of your parenting.
You don't have kids.
But I don't.
So, in this generation. And so,
But so you think but I got a question though. So you think her lack of parenting style will be based on because she's white?
I don't think it's based on the fact that she's white, but I will say this. I've had a lot of white peers growing up, and I will say that her house is similar to my other white girlfriends. They didn't have a lot of, my mom punched me in the stomach. I ain't never seen that happen to one of my white girlfriends.
I finally know what's wrong with you. I finally have figured it out. I've been doing this show like fucking 3-4 years, and I've never known what was wrong with you. And now I know your mama punched you in your stomach. I got you. She probably dropped you too. All right, go ahead.
No. So, and knowing my black father and seeing black men run their homes, the moment she tells me, hey, I found the guy. The moment she makes the phone call and say, hey, I found that guy, the first thing I'm going to probably ask her is, how is he with the kids? What does he think of your parenting style? Because I know the type of black man she likes, I think. In my mind, I would have an idea of who she would go for. Mm-hmm. And that guy is going to be like, oh, hell no. They did what? Hell no.
You will respect your mother.
Yeah. But I think they're going to say more than you will respect your mother.
But I respect that. Like, I also would respect somebody coming into my home so that my children can see that, one, this is how mom's supposed to be treated, but two, like, I have a second in command to
reinforce that. So you kind of want, kind of want that?
Of course. But I don't want that. I don't want that in a forceful, disrespectful, like, you're still not their dad kind of manner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a way to go about it.
And generally speaking, again, not for every black man, but generally speaking, I don't see a black man wanting to, your kids...
Put hands on my kids.
Not put hands... Well, yeah, they don't want to do that, but I know for sure they wouldn't be like, I'm your daddy now.
No.
That would not be their approach.
But it would be vice versa, too. Like, I would not accept their children into my home and, like, think that I could just whoop that ass. Like, that's not my role.
Right. And
so
again,
it's a respect thing.
The whoop that ass, too, probably wouldn't be...
No, it's not.
The direction.
I still think that that's okay.
This is the thing.
But it's a last resort.
I like listening to y'all talk.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so there...
Y'all giving some bullshit ass answers.
Well, no, but that's why I'm going to be specific and hope that she doesn't be like, why did you bring that up? There was a certain incident where kids were spending money on your credit card. Oh. Like, running your shit up.
Yeah.
A black man would have a super big problem with that and a big problem in how you handled it. Because it should have been more severe punishment.
Okay, so to clarify, y'all, both of y'all skipping over some major important parts.
Well, we're just on the kids now.
I got you. You still skipping over major important parts. I mean, first of all, you acting like her kids' fathers are dead or some shit like that. Like he just don't exist. Like y'all paint a narrative that the audience don't even know specifically like what's going on. So I would say, like, in that type of a narrative, you would have to at least say they still have their fathers, then another man is coming in. I don't think that would be like a racial situation if they still have their dad.
But that's not the point. I'm not even talking about that, though.
I get that.
I'm just talking about his opinion on her discipline for her children. The fact that their father is alive doesn't even matter.
I got you. Yes, it does.
How? Because I'm talking about the black man's opinion. No, I'm talking about the black man's opinion on how the mother, who is his only concern, the daddy is not his concern. He's not a part of the top conversation. I'm talking about her having a black husband and him saying, now, wait a minute. They spent $1,000 on your credit card and all you did was take away their tablet? That's not enough. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. But he might not have no say so in that if they father is in their life. So I would say, like, that's where Dana is right. You don't have children. Mm-hmm. So to co-parent a lot of times, for men, we navigate a little bit different. My girlfriend really didn't have a bunch of say so in what I did with my kids. Sure. Mm-hmm. And vice versa would go that way. I'm assuming on your end. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So the dad can step in and say anything that go wrong with my kids, you send them to me.
Right.
And then that's gonna alleviate him saying something to her or cause a fight. So to me, if you're going down that road, you still have to address that because he might not, I don't know, he's in your house, but you still have a kid's father there, and he might not want another man or a black man disciplining your kids. He's gonna say,
that's why
send
I
them.
said
He's gonna say,
not
send them to
talking
me.
to the kids. He's talking to his significant other. I'm her husband. Look, that ain't enough. That your child should not have done that. One, he never should have had access to your credit cards. I don't like that. And number 3, that's not enough discipline for him.
But
I'm talking about him dealing with you, not your children. That's why I said that didn't matter.
It's up to me to take that knowledge in,
Okay.
or whatever
the conversation was.
Right, whatever the conversation was, and then disperse it however I feel. Because I might agree with you in a sense, but I might have to handle it in my own way.
Good answer.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's a perfect answer.
Yeah.
I really, I think I love that you're not like closed off to the fact that he would probably notice right away. My mama wouldn't have. My mother would have made a way more harsher decision as far as discipline than you did, because that's one thing I do know about black men also is if they have great relationship with their mothers. If they don't, it was their grandma, and there was a great deal of discipline between those two women.
It's a generation thing though too. Like it doesn't matter what your color is. It's a generation thing too.
Right.
So we're in a whole different generation right now where our kids, we have to. I don't know. I could dive real deep into that conversation.
That's probably as a friend. Oh, girl, how is he reacting to the kids? It's going to be on my frontal lobe. So we'll move away from children.
Yeah.
I think your answer was sufficient. I mean,
it's
I
all
don't know
about
what you guys
compromise,
think.
no matter what.
But I think
I don't care what your race is. It's all about compromising, and I think. For me, before I get into anything like serious, like marriage or anything like that, like I really think like counseling is so important because you have to talk about all those things that you don't talk about when you're just dating and you're in the fucking phase.
And I'm always like, is she thinking about this? And is she thinking about that? Is she thinking about this? And that's the honest answer. No, I'm not.
You have to.
I'm just having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's lots of more in-depth stuff that you have to talk about in any relationship.
Right.
So.
Okay, well then give me, from your perspective, what is your concern when you hear about interracial dating? What is one of the questions or one of the concerns or opinions you might have that she can respond to? And then I'll go again.
I guess you would just have to attack it from the initial standpoint of, it's a little hard to kind of pose that question, but like when you date interracial, how people stare. They might say, look at this white girl with this stealing all our black men.
Interesting. How do you feel about that? I'm sure you've heard it before, maybe seen it.
I've
overheard
heard it before. I haven't really experienced it too much. Maybe just a couple times, and mostly, I'll be honest, it'd be from older black women looking at me like, why are you, or even the younger
black girls.
Yeah, black girls like looking at me like, why are you with? And I'm talking like checking coats at a club, like totally not even looking at us or talking to us, like blatant. It was so blatant. So,
and tell us a little bit about the demographic. You are in Colorado.
Yeah.
Is this where this happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have any ill will or bad intentions. My intentions are, just to take care of everybody. So it doesn't matter if my person is black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican. I don't care. Like my intention is to take care of the person that's next to me. So it bothers me that you looking at me some type of way because you think I'm stealing something from you. I'm not. Mm-hmm. I just
I like
the same way I raise my children. I want my children to. I want their hearts to be taken care of. So I don't care if they marry Native American, Mexican, Indian, and Puerto Rican. I do not care. As long as their hearts are taken care of, that's the most important. But we still stuck in this, like, I don't know. It sucks.
Stuck
But
in
it's
the world.
real. Huh?
Stuck in the world.
Yeah, stuck in the real world. Exactly.
Stuck in the real world.
Exactly.
Is there is there an overall fear, and this is steering towards money, and I'm trying to stay away from money because we're saving that for the latter. But is there a fear of fuck the money, just being a different culture, a culture who is generally less aggressive, mild? Our culture is more aggressive. So we would be looked as the hunters and you would be the hunted. So is there any concern that because you like a certain type of black man that you could be manipulated, taken advantage of?
But I've been manipulated by white guys too. So to me it's just not a race thing. And I meant to say, like, I don't think that going out in public and stuff, like, I don't get looked at just by black girls. Like, I get looked at by old white couples too. Like, they're like, the hell? You know what I mean? Like, so it's all the way around. But I think that it's up to us and our generation to show our children, you know, that we all the same. We all bleed the same. So,
we do bleed the same. I think we have to
respect each other's history.
Right. This topic is coming from the fact that, yeah, we all bleed the same, but we're raised so different.
Yeah.
And because we're raised different, we make different choices. We like different things. We live different ways. I mean, even down to the type of soap you use, down to the grease you fry your chicken with, down to, I'm telling you right now, there are certain things in the world.
You can go to India and they cook different and they shower different, and you can go to China and it's the same thing. Like, why? Like, we're in America, and being in America is like part of the most amazing thing of being in America is that we embrace each other's cultures.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame that.
So you taken the initiative to embrace someone's culture that you've been with? And in which way have you done that?
Yes.
In which way do you think you've embraced?
Like, give myself a.
In which way do you think you've embraced the brother's culture?
I am from. I've lived so many places in the United States, and so I don't know.
Give me an example.
No.
Give me an example of embracing culture. I mean, you learn how to fry chicken.
I know. I can't do it.
I'm
like
just
you
saying.
guys do it. I can't.
Like for me, and some people would say, "Well, damn, that's racist." What you trying to say? Black people with chicken?
No.
I'm just correcting for the people that, because I'm telling you, it's a sensitive world. But
it is.
This is the thing.
But that's okay. I like that we can be real. You know what I mean?
If you date a Jamaican, you learn how to make
cook
Jamaican food.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my angle here, because I don't want to be attacked. Now, and everybody black don't eat chicken.
You are so quiet.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Everybody black doesn't eat chicken, but what I'm saying is, if you're embracing your king, are there things? Yes. Have there been things that you've done?
I was married to a Cuban.
Very good.
I cooked picadillo. I made arroz con pollo. I learned how to make platanitos. I learned how to kind of speak Spanish, but I sound like a white girl trying to speak Spanish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you embrace who you love.
Okay, so then that takes me to the next subject. What do you think about being called a culture vulture?
What's that?
Someone who gets a white girl that gets her hair braided. White girl that gets her hair braided.
Oh, I got extensions in right now.
Yeah, white girl that might drop a gold grill at the bar.
I can't do
that type of thing.
I think there's whatever.
That's a part of your answer.
But I also do know black girls that try to embrace the white culture.
How?
Yeah, Kana. She know white girl that can embrace the white culture.
I'll say you.
I remember asking one time, I'm like, how do you feel about them little braids? Because I really like them. I want to get them one too. You're like, that's too much.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean,
it's cute. I like it. I couldn't do this, but like, I like it. What about
there go that white shit?
Wait, but what about you going blonde?
I've known her for a long time.
That's why we allowed to.
And that's the only reason.
Well, say what you was about to say. Don't she touch your hair?
Yes.
Yes. What?
And that is a white girl thing. Oh my God, your hair Can I touch it?
Oh no.
No.
No, that's stupid. I just did it because.
But you're okay.
Okay, good.
But this is the shit I'm talking about. And a white person would feel like, what did I do? Because they don't understand. So these are why we have these. That's why I said we're so different. And those little things like could really divide if you don't know. Like if you went to if you had a sister-in-law.
Right.
And she was in this chair and you were like, this is my sister-in-law. I love her so much. I love her hair. No, she would pause.
But that's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So
I got a major question though. Why you like dating black guys? Why you don't like dating white guys?
Because everybody has a type. So like
I know, but I get that, but it's a specific reason why you said because you say you dated a white guy.
Handsome and.
You said what now?
I can't.
Yeah, tell us. What do you like about black men?
So yummy, and I don't know what to say.
Dark and yummy.
It's just my type. Like my oldest son only dates.
So white guys are not your type because they're not
too vanilla.
Yeah.
Too vanilla.
Yeah. It's too vanilla.
Okay, but listen, like my oldest son, his type is short white girls with brown hair. Like brown curly hair though. Like it's like he has a type and that is all.
So you think it's as simple as just
I do.
But
I do.
I understand.
I absolutely
But I understand the type. But I'm saying what repulses you about white men? Boys?
Because what if there was a white guy in that seat right now that just looked like him, had the gold chain, gold teeth,
he couldn't look like me,
swagged out.
Wrong as down.
Would you date him?
Alpha male is the one of a kind. Use a different topic. That ain't working for me. No one sitting in this seat right here matching this energy.
I will say that there have been, white guys and Latino guys, but they have to be like
swagged out.
Oh, I mean, on point.
Right.
Like, but I don't just go for freaking. Oh well, he's cute and he's that's a homeless guy on the counter. He black and he cute. No, I mean you gotta have a certain kind of swagger, and I think maybe that's the answer to your question. There's a certain kind of swag that comes with.
No, that's just telling me why you date black guys. You ain't told me why you don't date white boys.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
I mean,
white men don't jump.
Like that some do.
I understand that. Someone on the comment said white dudes have small penises.
No, that's not true.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I
Oh my God. That's not true.
Okay.
So you don't. Oh, so that's not one of your answers. They're just not enough swag for you.
Yeah, it's the
boring.
Way, it's the way.
So it's the taboo for you.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what taboo means?
You know what taboo is?
I know the song. The song's real good.
No.
How can I explain the definition of taboo?
Something you ain't supposed to have.
Yeah, it's like, it's not necessarily either. Taboo is like, to me, who was taboo for me? Fabio. It wasn't even him. It was just his. Yeah, I don't like white men, but there's something taboo about just the silhouette. It's just taboo. It's not.
Let me go get a Denver Bronco or something because he taboo too. He got abs and you know what I'm saying? Like it was his physique.
So watch this.
The way he carried it was his swag.
His swag.
All right, so watch this. So you just said you don't date white boys, right?
I don't say I don't.
No, I don't date white men.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what you don't like about white men? Why you don't date them?
Tag.
So far, I've only met one white guy who wasn't fascinated with black women to the level that they asked 1,000 questions about how is your hair done.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Just
Google, look it up.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
Too many.
Like,
it was almost like I don't want somebody that looks at me like an object that they crave and that they want to take apart because they're infatuated. That's the only way a white man has ever made me feel, was like I was on display. I felt like I was on display for him to pick apart and ask questions about. I wasn't, even though he was showing me attention, it wasn't the type of attention that I wanted. I don't want to be I don't want to be told that I'm beautiful. I want you to show me that I'm beautiful, and that's something I think. Told. I want you to make me feel like I like being told. I'm not saying that, but I want you to make me feel beautiful. And white men don't make me feel beautiful. They tell me I'm beautiful, but then they stare the whole time, and that's uncomfortable. And I think it's because we're taboo. They want to know so much. They're so intrigued that it's almost a very thin line. It almost feels like you're being stalked.
I'm gonna send you a couple TikTok couples that are sexy as hell together, and it's a black girl,
man and a white girl, or vice versa.
No, black girl and a white guy, but this white guy, he got swag. So I think.
So you date him?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, there's a question.
I know a white guy.
I want you to define what swag means to you.
Okay, swag.
Ooh,
so
nice one. I like that.
somebody who is they're confident in who they are. They're not jealous. They're not insecure. They carry themselves really well. They got to dress good, and they clean.
Hey,
they got swag.
That's definitely a white answer.
Shut the hell up.
See, but I think that's important, because I think that's the thing that
really. Why?
That was definitely,
so what is your definition of swag?
That was definitely a white answer. But I understand.
So
let's take that and build on it though. Hold on.
I got you.
Hold on. The fact that there is such a thing as a white answer and a black answer is the reason why this is such an exhilarating topic.
It really is.
Because at the end of the day, I respect Dana. There is no racism in her.
No.
That's why she keeps saying, well, there's all type of cultures. And it's not about color. And we get it, and we we get it, and we love you for that.
I know.
But
I know.
Because there is a such thing as a white answer and a black answer, that's why this conversation is so important.
It's so important.
Because our choices, the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we think, the way we define things,
the way we take our trash.
Yeah, it's in our culture. Let me tell you something as simple as a white and black couple I know. The white girl in the relationship.
Yes, I take trash out different. I know you want to ask.
I need to know this answer.
The white person in the relationship, who happens to be the woman, says the trash can goes underneath the sink, underneath the cabinet, hidden. The black man in the relationship said that garbage can don't go under that cabinet.
Yeah.
That garbage can go at the end of the counter.
That's how mine is, though.
On the outside. It's not hidden anywhere. But that's a very simple thing that could cause, I know it's basic, but it could cause a rift, and it will make you understand, because as a white woman, she's saying, well, what's wrong?
The trash.
You're just hiding the trash. It's just bettering the home.
And me, I see both sides. I like, first of all, who cares where the trash can at? Second of all,
a black man is going to care.
Why? But anyway,
he cares because everything he chooses and runs his household is based in his culture, his mom and dad.
The white side is thinking, we gotta hide that because it stink, and we can't have the trash out.
Exactly. But she has a point. And he has a point. Exactly. But what I'm trying to tell you is,
so you have to be able to compromise.
No, you don't. Let me finish. The black man that you like is the king. Ain't no compromise. That garbage can ain't going underneath the sink. That's what you need to understand. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about this. It's not, that's a white answer. We got to compromise. That's another white answer.
Yeah, because
a king ain't going to compromise.
If you want the trash outside, okay.
And that's what it's going to have to be.
You know what I mean?
She's submissive.
Talking about being submissive.
It doesn't matter to me. That's so simple and stupid. Why are we going to fight about that?
But it could cause a rift.
There are way bigger issues in a relationship,
right? But
than the trash.
But because we know that issue exists, please know that it's not going to stop at the trash, because we're talking about cultural difference that are rooted in us that won't ever change, especially a black man based on his white woman. If anything, that white woman has to convert, and that's why this conversation is important. You're gonna have to convert.
She doesn't necessarily have to, because if that black man loves his white woman, there are some things that he's gonna compromise with her too.
I like where you're going with this. No. I like where you're going with this.
No.
I like where you're going with this.
No.
You might not like my answer.
It's not gonna happen.
But I like where you're going with this.
You would have to pick a beta black man, and you don't like beta black men.
So let me ask you. You
wouldn't be able to kick out.
You have to be a beta.
Y'all showing real culture differences right now.
Right now.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
And a lot, what I've seen and heard about interracial dating, a lot of times they'll say, well, the black men will get a white woman because they did what she just did, which was submissive. Mm-hmm. And then you have the angry black woman over here saying,
she's not.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. The combativeness and the angriness and that comes out of her saying, no, it has to go like that. And you were trying to say peace, love, and hair grease.
And that's the difference.
I get it.
Yes,
I get
real.
it. But that was a good example of culture differences and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah.
And then and so then black women, not Kana, but black women would say, well, you only picking that white girl because she gonna do what you say. Mm-hmm. How you feel about that?
I mean, I just have to be secure with who I am, and my relationship. Just like if my partner, who is a black man, was to be submissive for me on some things, that doesn't make him weak or beta or whatever. It just makes him love.
Beta.
No, it doesn't.
No, yes,
no,
it does.
it doesn't. It
Yes,
makes
it
it
does.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing. This
No,
thing.
it doesn't.
Alpha can speak
If
about
I-
this.
If I want my car,
Take it from an alpha male.
Every time I get to the car,
But nothing.
does that make you beta?
But guess what though?
What?
But who said anything was wrong with him being beta?
Nothing's wrong with it. That's just what he is.
Nothing is wrong with another man
correct.
being beta. I have male friends
That are beta. Yeah.
They acknowledge being beta. I don't look at them as weak because they beta. They just not alpha.
Correct.
No
They are
pun
not
intended.
alpha male. That's all we're saying.
No pun intended. But I'm just saying. But there's nothing wrong with that.
At all.
But see how it triggered you though? Because you was like,
Yeah.
I don't want him to be called beta. That doesn't make him weak. But
Yeah.
we don't identify beta as weak.
Because I know the difference between beta and alpha.
Okay. What is
But
that?
Is there a beta alpha? Is there a halfway?
No.
Oh, okay.
Omega.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say an omega is
'Cause
a good example of.
I do think that there are men that are like, I don't know. I can't say the word because we're live. But you know, I think that there are men that are hella weak, but I think there are men that are way too tough, and I think there are men that in the middle that you can be in the middle, and you can
And
be.
so that's what
you
you're
can be.
looking
You
for.
can be a
What's your
good.
definition of too tough?
Oh,
You said
just have to.
the two in this room.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No,
Sit your ass
narcissist for sure. Yeah, no, not these guys. These guys, I think these guys know what they want, and that's fine. But they come at you in a respectful manner. There's a way to approach a woman, and there's a way not to approach a woman. Like we can talk, we can have a conversation. We don't, but you don't have to disrespect me or come at me in a certain type of way. So
look, trick. Get my dishes.
that part.
You can't say that. We ain't gonna get monetized.
Yeah, we're gonna get monetized. Stop.
Sorry.
I think we should switch subjects.
Wait.
Okay.
It said, I got a statement here. I gotta say this. It said the man that came up with the concept of alpha, beta, omega, delta, he tried to correct that. You know anything about that?
I don't understand.
I mean,
The man who created it tried to go back and revamp it and just change it. That's all.
I mean, I get it. I can't think of the name, but you also have to remember this too. Just because we're human beings, just like how she got upset. This is the prime example of what I'm talking about. The prime example of what I was really saying is because certain people hear the word alpha, omega, sigma. They'll not sigma, but they'll hear those. They'll hear that. And
get offended.
They'll get offended. So she immediately got offended. But I like I said, I got homeboys that are betas. You understand? But that's like almost saying like you have a CEO and a COO. You know what I'm saying? The COO is not gonna get mad because you calling him a COO. That's just what he is. You see what I'm saying? And the CEO is the CEO. An alpha is the top person that typically is a leader, and some people, they're not fit to lead. And most betas are like that. They do not lead. So it's not calling him weak because he's in a beta stance.
I think the way it's stated and the way it comes across as like weak. So like,
but this is where this is where the question was coming from.
But that doesn't mean I'm weak. Because I'm an empath.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is where the question is coming from, saying that he wanted to go back and recorrect it because different people terminology started accepting things like that. So even when you said it, I know the definitions of them, but I was like, it's triggering you because people in society have labeled that is a beta. Yeah. It's just a weak ass motherfucker.
But guess what, though?
I don't want my man thinking. I don't want
this has called them a weak motherfucker.
Yeah, you have. And I don't want people thinking that
I understand
my man weak.
But as your friend, I would never pick someone for you that I thought wouldn't give you what it is you need, so I wouldn't pick from the alpha bucket.
Because I'm a boss all day. So
I just wouldn't pick out of that bucket. I would go to the beta bucket and say, home, these are the guys for them.
I don't want to be a boss.
Right. But
I want to be that submissive wife, and I want, but I need that man to be able to like
back off,
take that role.
And because but you also need a man to back off. Let me tell you why. One, because of what you do for work. Two, because your hobby, you like to make music and club. So you and your characteristics, okay? That's number 2. Number 3, your children. Those 3 things will automatically make me go to the beta bucket. I'm not gonna pick from the alpha bucket. The alpha bucket, because the alpha bucket is not going to be the guy that says, "I'll meet you halfway. You don't have to put the garbage can at the end of the counter."
So why don't you give her an omega?
What's that?
But until today, I didn't even realize. I'll be honest. I'm not going to act like I know everything. So until you said omega, I didn't even consider it. When you said omega, I'm like, oh my God, you're right. That makes sense. I would definitely choose out of the omega bucket for her. But before you said that, if I had an alpha bucket and a beta bucket, unfortunately, I wouldn't have picked out of that bucket for her. I have an alpha male as a husband. I would not pick him for her as far as marriage, because I know that he's gonna go in there and say, no, you going out when? No, that's not happening. You went out last weekend, so this weekend you staying home. I know my friend. She gonna be like, why? And she's gonna be upset, and it's gonna cause a rift. She might stay home.
Hold on. Let me get this straight.
Single right
so
now.
you
not every weekend, but
if I'm married, I'm not gonna go out every weekend. That's
even dating.
How often you gonna go out?
Maybe like every other month.
Every other month.
Now, do you believe that?
You can come with me if you want. Like, my man can come with me, or if he doesn't want to, that's fine.
Now we treading on water.
Because
lifestyle is very important.
I want to get dressed up. I want to put my lipstick on.
Alpha males are different.
I keep hearing I keep hearing the word I. Yeah, that's not compromise. You just telling somebody what they finna do. That's why.
You meet me as I am when we meet. And that's who I am.
And that's why you're going to pick
Omega is it. Omega it is.
Take me as I am.
Any Omegas out there? Omega it is.
If we're going to grow together, we're going to grow together. If we're not going to grow together, we're not going to grow together.
I thought you said we're going to get a girl together. I was like,
grow.
My bad.
And that's one of those first things. It's like, you travel a lot. Vegas. I'm going to Arizona. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to Daytona. Tampa. Even a alpha male boyfriend, you would not be doing all that.
Why? Come with me.
Because you just wouldn't. You just wouldn't. It would be if you was hitting you and you were doing like it.
Why?
You wouldn't be. You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't.
We ain't got too much.
So I think we've all gotten I think we all got the point.
Yeah.
And I hate saying lifestyle. It's a whole bunch of things just about
tie in together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that dictates our choices, what we like, what we don't like. Keep in mind, the black home is very different than the white home, and that's going to affect some of the things that they say and do.
She said that D.
I didn't say nothing.
No.
Oh, D. Tate.
Dictate.
Yeah.
I thought you said dictate.
I did say dictate.
Filter.
Dictate.
You know.
Our black
Selective
upbringing.
hearing.
Our black upbringing is always gonna dictate our lifestyles, and that might be the clash that we were talking about, just a moment ago about, clubbing and traveling and going girls trips and things like that. We're just not saying that you're wrong for doing it. It's just those are things that we didn't see in our home. So when we run our houses, we're gonna run them similar to what.
Is that whole white privilege you saying?
No, it's not white privilege at all. It's just who she is. It's what she likes doing.
If you choose to date outside of your race, you have to be like humble and open-minded and understanding and like be able to compromise. Because if you can't, then
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, exactly.
So let's talk about the most exhilarating part of this, because I think all of us, especially the black people in the room, I think we've all grown up hearing, if you want to get taken care of, get you a white girl. I've
Did you hear that?
In different ways, maybe not verbatim, but let me tell you, there was this guy. We were all outside a club, and this guy was talking to a girl that I bartended with who happened to be black. And she thought he was trying to talk to her, like date her. Mm-hmm. And she was like, ew. He was like, really, I was just being nice. I only date white girls. I get all my bills paid. He laid it out. And he said, I don't only date white girls. I date fat white girls.
What the hell? What is happening right now?
I don't know.
Fat or thick? Well, I mean, there's a difference.
No, it's not.
This is what...
Nope.
Yes, there is.
There is no difference between fat and thick.
We'll have a conversation later. There is a difference.
So...
Me too.
And he actually mentioned it earlier, we mentioned it earlier about being afraid that you would end up having to take care of someone based on that thing that that we just spoke about.
Sure.
Hey, going after a white woman because she would take care of you financially, and you not only happen to be white, but you do well for yourself, and so you're not going to go somewhere or take someone with you and not, hey, have a drink. Or, hey, come with, because he can't cut the check.
Expensive date.
Yes.
And I know this.
Right.
Like, even my friends who are white are like, listen, we're going to pay for her lunch, but we pay for her drinks.
Yeah.
Because that's,
you're expensive.
I'm expensive, but I can afford my expensive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't expect anybody, like, even if I go on dates, like, I don't expect you to be able to afford my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
what is your approach out there dating black men with that in the back of your head that I've told you as your black girlfriend, girl, be careful and see what he got.
You have said
I have said that to you, and it hurts me. Because I love my people and I love my black man.
But it happened to me.
You're my friend for a long time and I feel very protective of you.
I know.
So knowing that you like black men, I'm always like, Dana, protect your bank account. Check them out now. You understand what I'm saying? And that doesn't, it hurts my feelings to have to say that to you.
No, it's okay, but it's red flags all the way around. So it's also being aware. Like, just making sure that I'm aware of red flags, and it doesn't matter for me if it's white, black. It's just what and who I date. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if I were to date a white guy and he
took advantage of you.
It took advantage of me. I'm gonna have to be aware of those red flags too.
Let me get deep and dirty.
Okay.
Do you want the dick bad enough to pay for it?
No.
So you've never felt like you wanted it bad enough. Not pay for it, like, here, you give me the dick and I give you $500.
Because I was about to say.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean, you knew. You felt like, okay, every time we go out, I'm paying, and now he's calling me and asking me for rent. And let me finish. Now he's calling me asking me for rent, and now he wants money down payment for his studio. Have you started to feel like, hold on, is this actually, am I in the middle of this happening?
Yes, but that is because, it took time to build up to that. So it wasn't just like couple 2-3 weeks. It was like a year that built up to that point to where I was like, being told that if I or he can't be in a committed relationship with me until his business is up and running. And so I felt like I was like, oh, but I love him. I love him so much.
I ain't never tried that one.
Shut up. I love him so much that I want to help him get this studio up and running. And so I helped him get the studio up and running, and then still nothing. And then I got cheated on, and then you know what I'm saying. So like, but that was also my fault. Like I can't just put all that on him. That was also my fault. That was me being naive and blind by love and fantasy freaking world. You know what I mean? Like I needed to see those red flags.
Delusional.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. I was totally delusional. But you know, you live and learn. So
did
don't
that
ask
put
me
a
for rent now. And you're not gonna get it.
Right. Probably ruined it for everybody else.
Exactly.
Totally. But that did put you on. Did that now make you afraid of
No.
black men in a way?
No. Because I'm a God-fearing woman too. So I also believe in, like, you know, everybody's their own person and not everybody's the same. Again, back to culture and everything. Like, it doesn't matter. We got white trash. You know that? Trailer park white trash. We got that.
Yes,
So
we do.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's all kinds of, like, it doesn't matter. Like Mexican, Puerto Rican, Indian.
So
like,
you're
we all
really
have-
saying it's not a concern in your heart at all
No.
that the next black man
I've
you
been-
call yourself dating isn't
I've
going to
been
use you in some way?
effed over by white girls. I've been effed over by Puerto Rican girls. I'm effed over by friends that I thought were my friends. Like it's not even just men. It's, you know.
That's a good attitude to have, because I guess as a friend who's so protective, I guess I wanted your answer to be yes. I'm so much more cautious.
Why you want her answer to be yes?
Because I don't want her to have to go through it again. I don't want her to.
But it's not
She
fair.
wouldn't be able to date at all.
I know.
If
It's
it was that
not
simple.
fair to the next person
I know.
to be like, yeah, well, I've been screwed over so many times. Or
So
blah, blah,
fuck
blah,
you,
blah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not fair.
And I'm the same way. I don't change. When I love. So I guess I should respect that about you. I guess as a friend, it just scares me for you.
Yeah.
I guess.
And there's a lot of
They
people
taking money away from me. I can't get no drinks now.
I mean,
I still buy the same drinks while you're playing.
you know, you
Nothing
feel
stop
like
me.
this motherfucker is gonna break her, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Might be in a
That
good way.
would burn my biscuits.
But if you, the difference between like when I was married to now, when I was married, I didn't talk. Now I have friends and I have a voice and I talk. So I expect my friends like you to say something to me.
So I feel like you're well equipped to date black men.
For sure.
What do you guys think? Based on what you've heard, do you think she's well equipped? And it's funny that has to be a conversation, that white women need to be armed in some way and equipped
But what
to
about
handle a certain type of black man. I
But
do
what
not
about
believe that for white men and black women.
Really?
Because they adorn. I'm not saying that some of the black men that I said where I felt like I was being stalked, I'm not saying that they would have treated me badly. I was saying I was turned off. I think if I could get used to being treated like some beautiful fantasy,
I'm gonna send you this couple.
you know
on
what I'm
TikTok.
saying? If I could
my
get
God.
used to
they are so great.
no, but
together.
I've seen
And-
that. There's a guy that's from this city, and I don't want to say his name because I feel like I don't know if he would get
Please
offended
don't.
or not. So I'm not. But y'all know him. I think y'all know who I'm talking about.
Do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
He is the most
He is.
amazing.
Yes.
He is so, and you know what? He
why
has
can't it be
a
that
black.
way?
He has a black girlfriend
all the way around.
and I always felt like I've known him for a long time, and I always wanted him to find the right one because I didn't want him to get a black girl that would clown him.
Of course.
Because he's just that special.
But what if there was a white girl? I have friends that are very dominant. And so, you know what I mean? It just depends. It just depends. It's about personality. It's not about the color. It's about the personality.
I wish.
Not for him.
I wish. Yeah. No.
Not for
no.
you.
Not for you.
No.
He likes
No, that
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
He was not going to quit till he found his queen.
That's
his black
right.
queen.
Me too.
And that's his type. He found his black queen, and I'm so happy for him.
I'm happy too. I don't
And
even know who this guy is.
Yeah, he is. I wish I probably should have called him ahead of doing this show to say, hey, is it okay to discuss you? Because he's a good example of someone who swagged out. He could be with us right now. You wouldn't point out that he's a white boy because he just fits with us.
Yeah.
And we've embraced him because of that. And we wanted him. There could have been a black girl that could have taken advantage of him, I believe.
Can I just say this? I think that it's up to us and our generation. Like we in our. I'm in my. I just turned 40. You're welcome. But I think it's up to us and our generation to make sure, because I think it's taught. So I think it's important to raise our children to just love people the way they are.
Kumbaya. What you think your baby daddy gonna say or your ex-husband gonna say when you got a big
Who cares? That's why he an ex.
king in your house with his kids?
That's why he my ex.
How you gonna handle? You're his ex, but that's still your children's father.
Exactly.
So how will you handle?
How will I handle it? I will handle it being the role model in my home and just letting them see how this man treats me at home. Okay. That's it.
And no matter what the dad is going to say, he's going to say, no, mommy, no, daddy, he's very nice to mommy.
He's going to be the one that's
bad mouth and being negative.
Yes, being negative, immature, whatever. And I'm going to be the one that holding myself together.
Right. I feel like you've been preparing yourself for that. Have you given you know what I'm saying? Because you've hoped for yourself that one day you will find that guy and you will have a black king living in your home.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's going to be great.
How do you feel about the dynamic between yourself, your Latin or Hispanic ex-husband, and your mixed kids? How do you think that dynamic will work? Are you excited about that dynamic or scared of the dynamic?
It is what it is. It sucks that the kids are in the dynamic that they're in. But at the same time, like I said, like when they're with me, they're in my home. When they're with him, they're in his home. So, they'll eventually get to an age where they'll get to, figure it out on their own. But
do you feel like you're adding trauma to the bucket of things your kids are already going to have to go through growing up? You don't care. You want to. What's the question? No, I don't think so either.
He's married to an Arabic woman.
Oh, I didn't know she was Arabic.
That's completely.
Completely different. I did not know she was Arabic.
Yeah. So from what I know,
that's awesome.
So from what I know, they're very submissive women.
Very, very, very.
I'm gonna give me a passport.
Oh, no way. I feel like you haven't talked very much at all.
He hasn't.
Do you have anything to say?
As a black man, no. I want more from you as a black man, and if you can't, well, then we'll get Swas to answer some questions. But as a black man, what is your opinion on interracial dating? What are your problems with it? Is it a positive? Is it a negative for you? You just don't care? What?
I mean, I haven't interracial dated, so I can't give specifics on that. I grew up in a predominantly black household, school. Mm-hmm. It was like one white girl in my school.
Same. I was like, oh, I like him.
And I didn't see interracial dating until I actually got to Florida. So it was strange for me to see it, but once you around, just like anything else, like once you're around something, you adapt to it to just seeing it. Like first I'm the black guy that's like, oh look, hey. White girl.
Look at
him, nigga. I was that. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit that. You know what I'm saying? I was him. I'm like, hey, look. Yeah. And then it's just like everybody like, so that's that. That's what goes on. And like anything else, I think you have propaganda and everything else that influences people's decision on whether they date interracially or not. And like how you was pressing her about the issue of a black man probably using her for money, but a white man can use her for money. A Hispanic man can use her for money. Like the idea is just a man can do it. But I'm just the reason I'm speaking on that is because black men get also
This is a thing, though.
I got you.
Is it?
But it's a
Yes.
thing. But it's a thing that need to be educated because there's not. We just had a show where a black man sat in this that sat in the seat that was well educated and had his own money. Every black man isn't out to get some fucking white girl. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
talking about the ones that choose them.
I get that. I get that. But I would clarify
he's
that.
He's not choosing a white girl.
Gotcha. But I would clarify that is just a bad man. It wouldn't go into a race situation for me.
Okay.
I would. The reason I'm speaking on that is because I would clarify that it's just a bad man. I don't want to see a black man get a rap for that. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a black man that was educated and made his own money and was away from the stereotype of propaganda that you typically see.
But right, that's the thing though. If you typically see,
but that's propaganda.
That's not propaganda. That's what I typically see. It's not propaganda for me because that's what I've seen.
Well, then that's for you, and I'm sorry for you. But what I'm saying is because media feeds you that, and that's how you learn.
It wasn't media though. That's what I'm telling you. I grew up in a city where if it was a black boy and a white girl, the white girl was cutting the check. I've seen it. It wasn't nothing I saw on media. I grew up seeing that, hearing it from the black man's mouth. I only date fat white girls. I don't pay no bills.
That's cool.
I don't buy no clothes.
Why we gotta be fat though? Like,
I mean,
I'm just saying that's what he specifically said. I've never seen him with a black girl ever.
Gotcha. And I understand that. But different cultures, different cultures, different states, different things. I just told you. So
I think that's very true.
So if you never been outside your block, I'm sorry for you.
Right.
And that's what you got to see.
South Dakota, Montana, California,
but I just told you told you that it was only one white girl in my school. And that white girl was not taking care of that black dude. No. Period. I didn't see that. He did everything for her.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
That guy was.
I don't meet those
So I didn't
guys.
see that.
So he didn't even look at me.
I don't know. I probably out of all the interracial, not today. I'm talking about growing up.
Sure.
There was maybe one couple that I felt like were evenly yoked. They did for each other. But other than that, it was definitely the other way around.
But you know what?
Found her specifically for.
Thank you to them because they started the trend. So now it's up to us and our generation to keep that trend going.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I get that, and you're gonna have people out here that do that.
Sure.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying a black man can't do it. I'm just saying like. That's just a bad man. You know, a black man can do it, a Puerto Rican can do it, this and that. But they don't get the stereotype that comes with that. So I'm just here to clarify, like,
but there's also another stereotype in movies where you hear, oh, girl, I'm going to get me a white girl. That's been on probably every podcast that's out there. Where does that saying come from then?
Because that saying
they don't want the angry black woman, so they want the white girl.
But that's not about money, though.
That's going up the submission.
That's not about money, though.
I understand.
That's because your badass attitude. That ain't got nothing to do. That ain't got nothing to do with money. They just don't want to be in a house with you.
What about location? Would you think that happened more in a bigger city or a small town?
Small town.
I think it happens in a small town.
Where they get used.
I'm from South Dakota, Montana.
The black boy don't work. He sell dope and he date the white girl who managed the McDonald's.
That's really extreme, though.
In the small town.
No, I think it's both. Big city, New York, come on.
But in New York, you'll probably find them more. I think more black men are in positions to make money. So maybe they're evenly yoked, maybe? You think you?
Yes.
And that's from a white girl.
No, it's very culturally diverse in larger cities.
And I can buy that. But I wouldn't speak on that just because I ain't ever even been to New York. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I grew up in Louisiana. So I grew up in, even though I went to a predominantly black school, I was surrounded by a lot of Ku Klux Klan, Duke Country, stuff like that. So thinking about dating a white girl wasn't even in the thought process. Yeah. It's like, no, they lynching over there. So we don't do that. We don't talk to them. We don't do that. So like for me, that's why my response would be that way, seeing someone interracial or dating.
It's not even thought of in the city. That's just what it is.
And
they don't think of it like that.
And I can believe that.
Yeah.
I can definitely believe that.
Yeah. And in the smaller towns,
I don't even think of it like that.
I think it's just an experience. So like me growing up, like I always wanted, like I would see Miami on the TV. And I'm like, oh, I want to experience culture. And some people just want to stay in their own world.
Correct.
And you know, like, there are people like me who want to experience different cultures.
Small town sees interracial, big city sees culture.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So last question, because we're going to go back to...
Small town sees interracial, big city sees
culture. Yeah. And I agree with you 100%.
I agree with you.
Your bank account, how has it changed the dynamic as far as dating who you date? How has it changed it? Because you're not dating the way you used to date when you worked at Dial America. Should be way different.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Aww.
Should be way different.
This is Dana. How can I help you?
Exactly. Should be way different now as a business owner, a CEO of your own company. So tell me how it has changed from that point to this one.
Okay, so I personally really try not to change who I am, no matter what my bank account looks like. But dating is definitely different. Because like we talked about earlier, like I am an expensive date, and I know that. So like, we're gonna go on a first date. I'm gonna order 4 drinks, and you can't afford my 4 drinks. So
you gonna order 4 drinks?
Maybe more than that, and they doubles.
I mean 3.
She wants a double.
We'll do
all
3.
of them doubles.
We'll do 3. We'll
You
start
said
with 3.
4, stick with 4.
Oh, okay. We'll stick with 4. It's like getting pulled over, right? I only had 2 options.
So this is the thing. If you order 4 drinks, then automatically you feel like, you know what, I'm going to throw down my card.
I do.
So now you've already shown this person that's supposed to be there to take the initiative and lead.
I like alcohol and that
you can pay. that you're willing to pay.
That I can pay for my own shit.
Is that, do you think that's a negative or positive?
I think it's both. Like I really try to, like even in my marriage, like I really tried to, as I saw my growth happening, I tried to make sure that he still felt like the man of the house, but I could only do so much. So like if he needed, money to go buy green or whatever, like I would just give it to him. I wouldn't like, what you need that money for and how much you gonna give me a receipt. No, I would never do that. Like we're in this together.
You hear that, black women? Well, when you I ask for money for green, just give me the money. You ask me all these questions? Hey, 50 cents? 21 questions?
It's true.
Did you drink more after the marriage or?
It increased during my marriage, that's for sure.
You was on a positive note.
I started small and then it increased.
All right, guys, that's been another episode of Relations. We don't tap in when we have a guest. We're giving you these guests every now and then, throwing them there just to break things up a little bit and just broaden our conversations. We thank you for coming on. Would you please give our audience your social media?
So I'm at Dana Rochelle on all social medias. I think except Instagram. I have like a 01 after that or whatever. But yeah, you can find me on there and look.
Oh well. Hey, you know where you can find your boy. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It has been another exciting episode. You can check us out on Sundays at 8 p.m. But make sure you subscribe. That way you can get the notifications. And guess what? If you're looking for these shirts, you can go to Alpha Male God Creations.
They both have on Alpha Male
and if you want your own personalized shirt, you can get that too.
Oh,
and I'm gonna sign us out like
he's
I
not
always
gonna
do.
sign you out because I haven't given you mine.
You were supposed to get that first.
You can find me on Twitter at Kana Lassiter Perry and IG at Kana Lassiter. Now you can say,
I don't need you to tell me anything. Now I'm gonna sign us out like I normally do. Peace.